I was tired of standing over 15 to 20 foot putts with no idea of how hard to hit them and then needlessly three putting and ruining my scorecard. So I created this putting system that helped bring my handicap from 15 to scratch, cut my 3 putts in half, and in this video, I'm gonna share step by step exactly how I did that. I didn't grow up playing golf, so I never had that touch on the green that lifelong golfers built up throughout the years. I would stand over 12-foot putts and try to feel it out of how hard to hit it, and I would end up blowing it 6 feet by or leaving it embarrassingly short. It was frustrating and it was costing me way too many strokes every round. So I decided to create a system that's repeatable, simple, and reliable to take the guesswork out of distance control. The results were huge. In one season, not only did I cut my 3 putts in half, I also started making a lot more putts from 25 feet and in. My handicap now is +1, and I still use this system for every single putt I have. Let's talk stats for a second, because this is really eye-opening. According to Arcos Golf, from 20 to 25 feet, pros only 3-putt 2.36% of the time. A 1 to 5 handicap 3-putts 9.43% of the time from that same distance. A 6 to 10 handicap, that number jumps over 15%. And for 11 to 15 handicaps, 16.2%. This shows a quick opportunity for all of us to lower our scores with this simple putting system. Now, as I get into this system, I'm not saying this is the only system out there. I'm not even saying it's the best, but this is what I use to improve my game tremendously, and I'm confident it can help you do the same. Step 1 of the process I call calibration. The first piece of the puzzle is ball position. I like my ball right in the middle of my stance, and you'll see why as I go through this process throughout the video. To be exact, I place the back of the golf ball where the putter hits the ball, exactly in the middle point of my stance. This is a bit further back than a lot of golfers like to play it, but my putter has the loft to do it, and it helps me ensure that my swing path is neutral towards the target, and also helps me make sure that my acceleration into the ball is the same from swing to swing. If you like putting with your ball a little bit more forward in your stance, that works too. You'll just adjust your backswing and your follow through accordingly, and you'll see exactly what that means as we go through the video. This entire system is based on the length of your backswing and the length of your follow through. And the goal of this system is to build reference points in both your backswing and follow through for each distance of putt. Now, I recommend you do this calibration at your home course practice putting green. Doing it on the course that you play the most will give you the most solid baseline to start with. Now, the first step is to find where in your backswing and where in your follow through equals a 5-foot flat putt. For me, at my home course with the greens that usually roll between 11 and 12 on the stimp meter, that's the inside of my back foot to the inside of my front foot. Once you've done this for a 5-foot putt, do the same thing for 10, 15, 20, and 25 feet. You'll see in this image here, this is the length of my backstroke and follow through for each distance of putt at my home course for when the greens are usually rolling, again, between 11 and 12 on the stimp meter. You'll see that I like for my follow through and my backswing to be the same reference points. So for instance, for a 10-foot putt, I bring it back to the middle of my back foot and I follow through to the middle of my front foot. Having a reference point for your follow through is just as important for having a reference point in your backswing. This is to ensure your acceleration into the golf ball is the same from one stroke to another. Now imagine I have 2 15-foot putts. If I take the same length backstroke on both swings, but my follow through is vastly different on each swing, the acceleration into the ball is going to be different, which means vastly different ball speeds from one stroke to another. On that note, you'll see my preference is to change my follow through point for each distance of putt. But if you want to end your follow through in the same point each swing, let's say the middle of your front foot, and all you want to do is change your backstroke length, that works too. One of the best putters in the world, Cam Smith, prefers to do this. The important part is that you remain consistent in your strategy from one stroke to another. Now, after doing this simple calibration at your home course, you have a solid foundation and a great understanding of which stroke to execute for all putts between 3 and 25 feet. Now, real quick, I went from a 15 handicap all the way to a scratch without taking a single golf lesson. I started this YouTube channel to share the tips, tricks, and secrets that worked for me so you can use them to speed up your own progress in lowering your scores and lowering your handicap. Now, the second step of this system is just as important as the first, and it's how to apply this calibration that we just created to the golf course. Obviously, most putts aren't flat, so how do we apply this calibration to uphill or downhill putts? The first thing I do for every putt is I step it off. I know one of my strides equals 3 feet, so I will step off the putt to know exactly how far it is. So if I walk from the cup to my golf ball and it takes 5 strides, I know that I have a 15-foot putt. From here, I stand on the low side of the putt to gauge how uphill or downhill it might be. You'll get better at this over time and with more practice, but if I see a 15-foot putt that's slightly downhill, I might execute only a 13-foot stroke. Conversely, if it's severely downhill in a 15-foot putt, I might only execute an 8-foot stroke. I'm always thinking of this as a percent to total. Is this a 75% putt? Is it a 50% putt? Or conversely, this uphill putt, I might have to hit 125% of the true distance. This also applies if your home course greens are playing different than they usually are, or if you go play a new course with greens that are rolling differently than your home course. If I'm playing a new course that day, the first thing I do is I go to the practice putting green and get my baseline. How far is my 10-foot stroke traveling? If my 10-foot stroke is only traveling 8 feet, I know that out on the course that day, I need to add another 10 to 20% to my reads. Or vice versa, if my 10-foot stroke is traveling 12 feet, I know that out on the course, I'll have to subtract 10 to 20%. This is one of my favorite aspects of this system is I don't have to start over from scratch or change my stroke if I'm playing a new course. So what about putts longer than 25 feet? We haven't talked about those yet. Remember our goal with these longer putts, it's not to make them, it's to get them within a 3-foot ring to avoid a 3-putt. These putts become less mechanical and more feel-based. That said, you can calibrate how far back behind your back foot you should take a 30, 40, or 50 footer. That will certainly help. But it won't substitute from practice for these longer lag putts to get the feel of how hard you have to hit them. Putting is all about marrying a line with speed. You can pick the perfect line, but if you don't hit the putt the right speed, it won't go in. In fact, many professional golfers and PGA teachers agree that hitting a putt the right speed is more important than reading the right line. If you can master your speeds on the green, you will certainly see the benefits show on your scorecard and in your handicap. This system has helped me feel way more confident over each putt, which has resulted in less 3-putts and even a few more birdies. Comment below on what your biggest frustration on the green is right now. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more golf tips to help lower your scores and lower your handicap.